Today, a truly epic sausage, chorizo and bone marrow ragu. This one is outrageous, so let's do it. And so for this incredible pasta dish, we're going to need an onion. So first up, we want to fairly finely dice our onion. The way I always dice up onion has never changed. Some people may disagree, some people may do it another way, but this way is just super simple, works every time. Nip off the little top bit, place it flat side down through the middle, peel away the skin. And then from there, I do it the way most other people do. Cut across, a couple of times, and then down, and then super simple. Dice up the onion nice and fine. So chop your way through it. Now we want this a little bit finer, so we're just gonna run through it once or twice again with the knife. There we go, that's what we want. Fairly fine, still with a little bit of texture. And then you want to pop that into a bowl, and now we can start to cook. Onions done, stick them to one side, ready to cook. So pop a high-walled frying pan onto the hob, turn the heat to a low medium. So in with a little splash of olive oil, and then you want to chuck in the onion. Onion in. Soon as the onion's in, give it a stir, coating it in the oil, and we want to sweat down the onion until it's beautiful, soft and sweet, but without any colour. And we just want to add a little pinch of salt to the onion. When cooking, you always want to add a progression of seasoning. Season each element as you go along. That way, when it comes to the end of the dish, it should be seasoned perfectly if you've addressed each element in each stage of the cooking. If not, you can always add more salt to make a little adjustments at the end, but you can't take away salt, you can only add salt. Just gives you a bit more control. Also, salt can change the way that something cooks. So salt is an element that you potentially want there, depending on what you're doing. Onions, for example, it helps to release the water, it draws it out, and so some salt at this stage is very helpful for what we're looking to achieve. Give it a good stir, and while this is ticking away and sweating off, we can prepare some of the other ingredients. So next, some garlic. The amount of garlic for this one can vary. It is entirely up to you. There we go, 3 or 4 medium-sized cloves. My little trick with garlic, off with each end, a little tap, and off with the skins. Remove the skins from the garlic, and then you want to finely dice the garlic. So get that garlic nicely diced up. That's pretty coarse, so we're just going to run the knife through it a couple of times, get it nice and fine. That's what we want, nice and fine. And then you want to stick that into a bowl ready to go. Garlic, done. Also at this point, we want to prepare some chorizo. Next up, our chorizo. So take your chorizo, cut it up into chunks. Chorizo can be tough to cut. The trick, a really sharp knife. So take your time, and we're going to want the chorizo in nice little cubes. So we're cutting it in half, and then in half again. So then we have these little chorizo-y battens, if you will. Bunch them up. So we have these lovely nuggety cubes. And once you've got a nice handful, pop the chorizo into the bowl. There we go. So nice little chunks. One of my favourite ingredients. And now back to the pan. Right, we're very nearly there. At this point, the onion should be starting to get nice and soft. And as you can see, it's getting nice and translucent. So once you're ready, we want to go in with our chorizo. So our chorizo goes in. So chuck it in. Give it a good stir. As you can see, the chorizo is now releasing all of its beautiful oils, turning those onions a really nice dark orangey colour. You probably want to cook the chorizo with the onions for about 3-4 minutes. Keep the heat around medium. Keep stirring every few ticks, and after about 3 minutes, at this point, we can go in with our garlic. Garlic in. Stir the garlic through. We want to give that about 2-3 minutes just to sweat off the garlic. So while we've got a couple of ticks, we can prepare the sausage. And you want to use really good quality butcher's sausages. Makes all the difference. Here I'm going for some plain pork. So very simple. And all we're going to do, we just want to remove the meat and discard the skins. run the knife down them.
So work your way through them.
Remove the skins and the meat goes in the bowl.
And once we have our sausage meat separated out, the garlic, onion and chorizo should be good.
Right, there we go. The garlic has been in for about 2-3 minutes. That's beautifully sweated off. The onions are lovely and soft. Chorizo has released some lovely oil, but that's still succulent and delicious. Heat right the way down. And because we're going to be cooking the sausage to get a bit of caramelization, and we don't want this to overcook, what we're going to do, take a plate or a bowl,
is pour the contents of the pan into a bowl or stick it on a plate.
Get that lot out of the pan for now. Make sure you get out every last little bit of onion. There we go, this will go back in shortly. You can use a bit of paper to remove any little bit of onion. This is maybe a bit pernickety, but it only takes a second. Right, there we go, we're good. And so,
chuck in the sausage.
Our sausage goes in. Pop the heat up to medium, and straight away, you want to start to break up that sausage. We want this to be almost like a sausagey mincemeat. A tiny, tiny dash of oil to help it along. We obviously want to cook the sausage through and get a bit of caramelization. This is going to add some amazing flavour. We're also probably going to get a little bit of fond on the bottom of the pan. That will caramelise and add some great flavour. At this point, a little pinch of salt.
And freshly ground black pepper. Take it easy on the salt, so keep stirring.
Right, there we go. So the sausage is basically cooked. So just for the last minute or two, turn that heat up a touch. Kind of spread this out a bit, smush it to the bottom of the pan, and we want to get a little bit of some nice caramelization just before we deglaze with our wine. And look at all that, get just a touch of browning on there. And now deglaze with some red wine.
So pour in a good splash of the wine, turn the heat up a touch, and we want to reduce the wine down until the liquid is pretty much all gone and we're just left with a nice sticky syrup.
Use that to wash away that fond.
We want the pan clean by the end. We want all the flavour in the sauce.
And we want to reduce this wine down until it's just a sticky syrup. Basically no liquid left. Go turn the heat back down a tiny touch, about medium. Chorizo, onions and garlic, go back in along with that oil. Stir that through.
And while this is ticking away, we can quickly prepare our cherry tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes, very simple. Cut them in half.
So take the tomatoes, and it could be more simple, just simply chop them in half. So work your way through them.
Halved cherry tomatoes into a bowl and then into the pan.
Chuck in the tomatoes, and as we've added more ingredients to the sauce, you want to add a touch more seasoning.
Little pinch more salt. Touch more pepper as we've added more ingredients.
Stir the tomatoes through.
And we just need to cook this off now until the tomatoes have started to break down.
Release some of their juices and start to get a little bit saucy. About 10 minutes.
Now for a very special ingredient. Bone marrow. Stuff is insane, almost like a beefy butter. This is a beef bone. That soft stuff there is our marrow. This is very special. And so, get a long knife, cut down, twist, clean as a whistle. And there we have the marrow itself. This does go really soft and delicious when you cook it, but we do want to chop it up a bit to help it along. We don't want big chunks in the sauce at the end. So simple, chop your way through it.
And then we want to dice the marrow up into little pieces. Once you've done this, pop the marrow into a bowl.
There we go, the secret weapon.
And this is going to go into the sauce about 3-4 minutes before we're done.
And look at that, buttery and oily. This will melt into the sauce, beautifully fortifying it with some lovely beefy flavour. Right, so at this point, the tomatoes have started to really break down nicely and we're getting a bit more of a saucy kind of texture. So this is basically done. So what we're going to do now, give it one last really good stir and in with our secret ingredient. Our bone marrow. So drop that straight in.
Stir the marrow through, and we literally want to give this about 2-3 minutes.
That will immediately start to melt and it will beautifully fortify and make this sauce super rich. The flavour in this pan is outrageous. And we still have one more secret ingredient to go. Okay, so we're ready for the final element to bring this whole thing together perfectly. Turn the heat right down, and the secret ingredient in question, mascarpone cheese.
So add 2 or 3 tablespoons of the mascarpone, stir it through,
and oh my goodness, thoroughly mix that up.
It'll be a vibrant orange colour by the time we're done with the sauce. Then when you're happy, give it a taste, adjust the seasoning if you need, and then you want to pour the sauce out into a bowl.
But keep the pan, saucepan on the hob, pop that there ready to go. Heat up high.
Pour in the water.
And we want to heavily season our pasta water.
I like to use a small saucepan so we get a really high concentration of starch in the water.
Very, very important. We want a high concentration of salt in the water because the pasta absorbs a little bit of that water, and so you season the pasta basically inside, which is incredible. The only way to do it. And the Italians say you need to season your pasta water as salty as the sea. Obviously only a tiny amount of that water gets absorbed into the pasta, so you need to use a lot for it to actually do anything. So don't be scared, give it a try. Today we're using tortaglioni, very similar to penne, a little bit bigger, a bit longer, a bit thicker, works really well with the sauce. So pasta in. And we want to cook this pasta for about 2 to 3 minutes less than the cooking time on the packet. We want the pasta to be just turning al dente. That way we give it another 30 seconds to a minute in the sauce and it'll be perfectly al dente.
At this point we want to prepare some fresh basil. This sauce is so rich it needs the basil to really liven it up.
Oh my God. Remove the leaves.
And then using a really sharp knife, dice up the basil.
So there we have our fresh basil leaves. Now I'm gonna dice these up. You can tear them to garnish the dish at the end, but personally I think that actually bruises the leaves, contrary to popular belief. Reason, that knife is very sharp and very thin. My fingers are pretty fat. So when you're tearing and shredding up the leaves, they bleed, they bruise. With this, quick, easy, and there's not a lot of surface area coming into contact with them. So very gently bunch them up and then quickly and confidently chop down through the basil. Very gently bring them all together again, and then one last pass through. And there we have some nice, coarsely diced basil.
And then pop the basil into a bowl.
Done, ready to garnish this amazing pasta.
Once the pasta's good, you want to pop the frying pan back on the heat.
Right, there we go. That pasta is done.
Throw in that pasta.
So chuck your tortaglioni into the pan. Along with a little splash of the pasta water.
And then spoon in some of that beautiful, rich, meaty sauce. Give it a really good stir.
So stir that sauce through.
Toss the pasta in that sauce. Adjust with any more sauce or pasta water until you're happy, and then we're good to go. So spoon the pasta out onto a plate, and there's only one way to finish this one off.
Finish with basil.
To liven it up, and a really nice grating of some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, sausage, chorizo, bone marrow and mascarpone sauce with tortaglioni pasta, basil and parmesan.
Right, so here goes. This is gonna be great. Oh my, wow. That is heavenly. Sausage, chorizo, bone marrow, tomato, mascarpone, unbelievable. I mean, that is just perfection. So rich, but the basil kind of livens it up a little bit. Creamy, unctuous. Those are the only words I can think of. But this is truly undescribable. Absolutely delicious. I tell you what guys, we are halfway through the year and this is 100% the pasta of the year so far. That is going to be hard to beat. Wow. Right, so I'm going to polish this off. If you could just hit the subscribe button below to join me here on the channel for more recipes. Give the video a thumbs up. If you liked it, just hit that little like button below and I'll see you next time.